Today's topic, neurohacking weight loss. Welcome to the Hologram Podcast, sponsored and brought to you by Quantum Neurology Rehabilitation. Every major science publication and cutting-edge physicist is calling our universe a hologram. I'm suggesting that we recognize the human body as holograms too. I discuss this in more detail in my book, Holographic Healing, available on Amazon. This podcast is for introducing life, health, and healing concepts based on the holographic principles and how to incorporate these principles into a holographic lifestyle. The hologram means everything is connected. We're holograms, our bodies are holograms, and we know this to be true because the smallest unit of our body is known as a cell. And through cloning technology, it's been done where they've removed the contents of one cell and introduce it into another cell and create a duplicate nervous system. This is an example of why we are holograms. In a hologram, communication is constant and instantaneous throughout the hologram. So that means it's to, from, and between each layer of the nervous system. There's constant and instantaneous communication from cells to muscles to tissues to organs and bones. On the podcast, we introduce the holographic lifestyle. We examine the concepts of mind, fitness, and health through the filter of the nervous system, through its healing and its development. I want to bring you interviews from cutting-edge scientists, doctors, and thought leaders to contribute to your holographic lifestyle. I'm your host, Dr. George Gonzalez. I'm the founder of Quantum Neurology and the creator of holographic number theory, the author of the Holographic Healing series, and now the creator of and host of the Hologram Podcast. This show is for education and entertainment purposes. It's not intended to examine, treat, diagnose, or cure any illness, injury, infection, or condition. It is to present concepts and possibilities that the listener or viewer can investigate further. Concepts presented by doctors and experts are their personal opinions and are not promises or guarantees of outcome. Please take your health into your own hands, do your own research, and ask the advice of an expert when dealing with your personal health or life issues. Welcome to the hologram, everyone. And it's the new year and everybody wants to get more fit, lose weight, and make more money. Today's focus on the program is neurohacking weight loss. I'll be introducing strategies that have helped me discharge over 100 pounds of toxic body weight. And I've kept it off for over 2 years now. I was over 320 pounds, give or take a little bit. I was really sick. I could barely move. I felt as if I was gonna pop. I had sleep apnea so bad that I would stop breathing 2 to 3 times a minute. I was sleep deprived, I was dehydrated, I was malnourished even though I was eating food. My body was swollen, it was inflamed. I was losing vitality. I needed a big why to make a change. And when I learned that my daughter was conceived, that's when I promised myself that I'm gonna get a hold of this and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to see this out. Well, it took me 6 years. And I tried everything. I tried, I like being on the healthier side of things because I feel that if you're not eating healthy, that's not going to be the right direction for long-term health. So I tried everything in that direction. I tried raw food, no food, juices only, fruit only. And, I ate it all. I did a lot of different ideas. But for me, it all started with a 3-day water fast that I did on an Easter weekend. And what came to me during that time is that you have to live like the you want to be, and your body will catch up to you. So, part of it is like, okay, I get it. I want to live like the way I want to be, and my body will catch up to that. But how do I do that? How do I figure that out? Well, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. when we're talking about these are lifestyle changes that you're going to incorporate for the rest of your life. So, of course, it has to work for you. And first and foremost, you have to change your mind. You have to change your attitude about everything. So, I made a few notes here. And ultimately, when we're dealing with weight, our body weight, we have errors in thought. And these errors in thought are obviously there because we have issues with our weight. And our weight has to, we have to manipulate our mental concept of what we're doing to ourselves so that we can change the way our body is responding to the way we're treating ourselves. So I don't want it to sound too complicated, but we basically have to change our mindset. We have to stop making excuses. I'm fat because whatever that is. That's a victim mentality. Instead, no matter where you are in your fitness, your health, I'm fit because I eat well, I hydrate properly, I walk every day. I'm fit because makes you a victor, not a victim. So you want to stop making excuses for being fat and start being proactive in being fit and healthy and eating healthy. So again, it's all in your head. There's a lot of things going on in our head to put us in the direction of the self-sabotage of being overweight. Now, I was over 100 pounds overweight. And, one of those things that I had to do is stop saying I want to lose weight, because then my body would find it again. And I wanted to discharge the toxic body weight so that it never comes back. And so that's one of the things I had to mentally change in my mind is, okay, I'm discharging my body weight. I'm not losing it. So, and a lot of issues of not loving myself or hating myself and all this, I feel, comes from the programming that we grew up with, whether it's family or television or movies or whatever, what have you, wherever it came from, it's in there. And we're talking incorrectly to ourselves, and we're talking incorrectly about the food choices that we're making. So you have to learn to love the process of getting healthy. You have to learn to love the process, because that is the lifestyle that you have to be to become the person you want to be. So the process is the lifestyle. And this holographic lifestyle is a coordinated balance between your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of yourself. Between the nervous system demands and the communications. We want to start bundling our nervous system development. And the example I like giving is, if we want to physically train somebody to their advanced level, I suggest starting, if we're talking about children learning movement concepts, I suggest gymnastics. Gymnastics is a great foundation of strength and movement that could transfer to various other, athleticisms. Rock climbing is another example of that. So these are ideas of bundling your nervous system development into things that are going to pay dividends in other areas, and not only, shooting pool. This doesn't transfer to too many other areas. And I'm just using that as an example. But, the idea of bundling your nervous system development so that it pays dividends in other areas of your life. Now, a big thing that I personally did to clear my headspace and reset my mindset was the use of a technique called neuro-emotional technique, NET, developed by Dr. Scott Walker. Absolutely phenomenal work for myself. It helped clear the clutter in my mind, reverse the negative thinking on myself and the self-sabotage. And like Dr. Howard Cohn, my good friend, developer of 7.2 and the Cohn Health Institute, he says NET is like 15 years of therapy in 15 minutes. It's such a powerful way of processing the information neurologically through your body and through its systems, instead of what we traditionally think of dealing with emotions. Highly powerful. We'll leave links down below so you can look into that further. So you have to make this mindset. You have to change it from I have to eat this way. I have to have two. A real man has two. I was stuck in that mindset that I started as a little boy. I'm a man. I could eat more, and those kind of things. And that may have been cute in the moment, but it's not a way of thinking that serves someone the rest of their lives. Having dessert with every meal doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve you. Don't let that go to waste. Eating everything on your plate. All these mindsets are sabotaging you in ways that are not paying dividends. You don't have to eat everything on your plate, and you don't have to waste everything. You could save it and eat it for another time. Now, another thing that we say is, it's a great deal. Like all you can eat buffet for whatever the price is, and you leave there and you're so swollen. Or I deserve to eat something bad for me, bad for my health, because I did a good job today. Or I exercised today, and then you eat badly because you deserve to. These are the mindsets that we have to change because they don't serve us. Now, one thing that we say to ourselves is, I love chocolate, for example, or I love Haagen-Dazs or donuts or whatever it may be, whatever your thing may be, pizza or so on. And people say, oh my God, I love that food, or it's so good. Now we have to stop calling things love and good, because the reality is those foods that don't serve us, we're giving them love and they're not loving us back. Okay? We're calling them good, but they're not good for us. So let's call them what they are. Let's call them delectable. It tantalizes our taste. It's delectable. But we don't love it, and it's not good. It's not good for us. So another thing people say is, where's my protein? I need protein. Now, again, when I started doing a fast, it reset my mind and made me realize that I'm not going to die if I miss a little bit of food. I'm not going to die if I don't have meat in every single meal. I'm not going to die if I miss a meal. I'm not going to die if I miss many meals in a row. And I'm not endorsing starving yourself, but it's a strategy to learn how to fast properly and how to flush your system. And I did a water fast for 3 days, and it was extremely healing and cleansing. And I want to do one very soon. And one of these things is to level it up, is to drink nutrient-dense liquids when you're doing a fast, so that your body is getting nutrients, but it's flushing, it's hydrating the entire time. So, going back to, you have to want this. You have to make your why bigger than you. The better you are, the better you could serve others, the better you could be for your family, the better you could be for yourself, for your community. We tend to do for others before we do for ourselves. And many of us that have fallen into that trap and end up eating to replace, I deserve to eat this because I helped so many people today. Or I deserve to eat this because, I worked hard today. And we have to shift that mindset. We really do. We have to shift it to, I deserve to eat healthy. I deserve to avoid those things that clog up my system. And when we do that, we start recognizing I have to come first. My health has to come first, and in that, I am able to serve others better because I have more health, vitality, healing, ability, energy, everything. But when I'm exhausted because I've given everything I have, and there's nothing left, not even for myself or my family, it's not a good equation. So when we look at fasting, fasting is a big deal. Now, fasting has been done for thousands of years. It's documented in religious texts. Isaiah 58 of the Old Testament, verses 6 through 14, has instructions on the promise of a fast if you use it for spiritual purposes. You could do a water fast. And every time I talk about fasting, everybody I'm talking to happens to be pregnant or breastfeeding, or for whatever reason they can't do a full fast. And if that's you, that's great. Take care of yourself and your child. But that's not the only kind of fast there is. There's many kinds of fasts we could do. We could do intermittent fasting. That's what I choose to do on a consistent basis. So I do intermittent fasting. I do my best to avoid breakfast. I hydrate as much as I can in the morning, and then I have a larger lunch and a larger dinner in concept. And that shortens the time that food is in the digestive tract and makes your digestion more efficient. So I suggest not eating at night. Sometimes I do. And don't eat breakfast. Sometimes I do. So these are concepts. But the more consistent you are with them, the better off you may be. So there's sugar fasting. There's television fasting. Let's go back to sugar fasting. Sugar is the key. If you stop sugar in your life, you're going to have a much better time in all areas of your life. You will not recognize yourself without sugar. It's such a big difference. So when you remove sugar from your life, and then you start recognizing how different it is, and then you remove the things that converted to sugar, then you really see a huge shift in your body weight. So there's sugar fasting, TV fasting, gambling fasting, porn fasting, drug fasting, spending fasting, speaking fasting, cell phone fast. Good luck on that one, right? Profanity fasting. I used to need that one, and I've really curbed that, thankfully. So these are the kind of things that we could use to reset ourselves. Fasting is really important because it resets the mind. If you're spiritual minded, you could focus on the spiritual verses in Isaiah, for example. And these kind of things help reset your mind so that you can have the willpower and the strength to stop going for those things that are harming us. Now, at the end of the day, it's an all-day process. It's not, okay, be good for 3 days and then go on. To be fit and healthy and change your life, it's 85% diet. And I wish I knew that a long time ago, because I'd be at the exercising gym and I'd be exercising, and I would watch all the people on the treadmills and stair climbers as I was doing my morning stretch routine. And every day the same people were on those machines for an hour plus a day. And they were still heavy and overweight. And it was like, well, that's not the answer. That's not the answer. Diet is your answer. 85% of diet is and 15% exercise. So I suggest you need to learn how to guide your body. And it has nothing to do with the scale. So you can use a scale once in a while, but for the most part, I don't look at my weight anymore. You could throw away the scale if you want to. because ultimately that number on the scale does not equate to my health. What equates to my health is my ability to move, my vitality, the way my clothing fits, looking in the mirror. All these things I use to guide and monitor myself instead of the scale. I found that the scale messed with my head. Whenever I looked at it, I was never low enough, even at my lowest. And so it's kind of crazy, but for me, I threw away the scale. I got rid of it, and it took this big weight and pressure off of me to make this weight. So it's important to be able to visualize yourself in health. It's important to be with people that are fit and healthy and see how they act around foods and how they think about fitness. I guarantee you it's different than the way you're thinking about it now. Now, our bodies are hydrogen, oxygen, fuel cells. Our bodies are primarily running off of hydrogen and oxygen. That means we have to hydrate a lot. We need to drink a lot of water. And I use nutrient-dense water. So I talked about this in episode 1. I use blue-green algae, lemonade, hibiscus tea, different fluids. And I learned how to make those from Dr. Robert Cassar. And you can find him on YouTube. Just type in Dr. Robert Cassar, Liquids of Vitality, and you can learn all about making these drinks for yourself. They're highly powerful. And in episode 1, I talk more about hydration and oxygenation and those concepts. So please check in on that. All those things apply to what we're talking about today. So ultimately, our body has to get rid of all that toxic body weight and inflammation and excess fat. And how does it do that? We have to think of it as, well, our body collected this toxic debris. And we have to start living a detox lifestyle full-time. Full-time. We have to learn how to detoxify our body full-time. And we have to learn to cook healthy at home. And we have to learn to exercise every day. Every day. We have to go for a walk every day. And if you need to, get a dog, because you're going to have to walk the dog every day. So at very least, you have that motivation to do that. So, this is such a big idea. I could talk for days and days on this. It's such an important concept. But I wanted to touch on some key things about diet. So in general, a ketogenic diet, which basically means no sugar, limit your carbohydrates, really lower that side of the equation. You want to have good quality fats in your diet. I personally like coconut oil. If you're sensitive to coconut oil, that's not the answer for you, obviously. But coconut oil is powerful for your body, for my body, I'll say. It's a very good quality fat. I cook with it. I use it all over my body for medicinal purposes. I also use avocado oil, and we eat protein. We have salmon, fish, chicken. And when you're working on losing toxic body weight, you're going to start wanting to look at the density of foods, food density. So if I have a beautiful steak versus taking that exact same steak, chopping it up, putting it and making a stew out of it, and eating it. So as delicious as it will be in either form, what could we imagine is the most digestible for our body? It's the one where it's already cut up. It's already broken down. And that's going to help cross that digestion tube and get into our body more easily. So these kind of ideas are really important, and keeping the density of the food as light as possible. The lighter, the better. And so the more fluids we're taking in, the more soups, the more liquid form our foods, or the closer to liquid form, the more easily our digestive tract will be able to assimilate it. So when we're looking at, we want really good quality fats, we want good quality proteins, and we want to limit our carbohydrates and eat vegetables. If you're like myself and it's a hard time getting the vegetables in, I use Dr. Howard Cohn's 7.2 Shakes and Greens. Great product. I highly recommend it. I'm an independent distributor of that product. Information will be in the description. You really have to look at your digestive tract when it comes to learning how to manage your body weight. The internal environment of your digestive tract reflects your external environment. That's so important. I'm going to say it again. The internal environment of your digestive tract reflects the external environment of your body. So when we're looking at that, we need to learn how to make the food process through our digestive tube as efficiently as possible. And we'll be doing several podcasts on this subject alone. And so we need to understand the digestive tube is about 30 to 40 feet long, and it's a semi-permeable membrane. That means that liquids can get through, but solids cannot. So we have to really consider that density I was talking about, because it's the dense solid foods that will not cross that membrane to get into the body, as delicious as they may be. Now, in terms of really neurohacking your weight loss and changing your game, you want to make sure you're hydrating, right? And you want to make sure you're avoiding certain key foods. I call it the no-no diet. No dairy, no corn, no sugar, no soy, no GMO, no grains and breads, no chemicals. And always remember, it's okay to feel hungry. It's okay to feel that way. And if you are feeling hungry, walk, drink water. And, think about, if I'm going to hunt for something, I'm going to have to be active to catch it before I can eat it. Does that make sense? So we want to stimulate the body's natural actions of, fighting for something before, or exercising for something before we consume, rest, and digest. So we're using our body's nervous system in the proper patterns to help it process properly. So hydration, again, nutrient-dense liquids, powerful neurohack for weight loss is hydration, nutrient-dense hydration. Liquids of Vitality by Dr. Robert Cassar, look those up. And again, moving your water towards 1 ounce per pound of body weight, and that's nutrient-dense water. And to neurohack your hydration, how do you get it in? Well, every time you drink, you should be swallowing 10 times. And that will get a volume of water in your body while getting you used to drinking that much. So instead of thinking, I have to, drink this all day long, it's just, 10 swallows, and that's for myself a half liter. The next time I drink 10 swallows, then that's a whole liter. And I highly suggest, this is a very powerful neurohack for weight loss, is drink a liter of water, preferably nutrient-dense water, before food when you wake up. You want to flush that digestive tube. You want to moisten it and lubricate that, so when you do eat your food, it processes all that very easily. And then, so, you could do this before every meal. You could drink, anywhere from half a liter to a full liter of water before your meal. Flush that digestive tube, help your body process the foods that you're putting into it. Exercise. I want to talk about exercise because, remember, it's only 15%, but you still have to do it. You have to pump your body. You have to pump your lymphatics. As a reminder, my lymphatic ebook is absolutely free. Look in the description for information on how to get my lymphatic ebook, how to stimulate your own lymphatics and process that garbage from the lymphatic systems to make your body more efficient in detoxification. Very important. So in terms of exercise, I've developed holographic walking strategies to use your body more efficiently so that it moves as a unit, and it pumps your body and helps heal you faster. Also, I have holographic strategies for rebounding, for breathing, for yoga, body weight holographic exercises as well. So all these ideas are really important to use your body while you're healing yourself. But it's very little in comparison to the diet. The diet is the most important. So weight training is only done once your body has discharged enough body fat and your body's in proper alignment. Until then, only do body weight exercise. So that's what we have for you today. And I wanted to talk about this podcast is sponsored by Quantum Neurology. And you could get my book, Holographic Healing, on Amazon, and my free ebook on lymphatics, as I mentioned earlier. Just find the link in the description below. Quantum Neurology is nervous system rehabilitation. At Quantum Neurology, you could find your nearest practitioner. Just enter your zip code or city, and you'll find the doctor nearest you. If there's no doctor in the area, you're going to have to expand the search radius. We also have doctor training at Quantum Neurology, and doctors can learn the step-by-step rehabilitation strategies to get certified in Quantum Neurology. Doctors learn strategies for restoring muscle strength, structural corrections, sensory and cranial nerve integration, and much more. Our upcoming events are Module 4 Sensory, January 27th and 28th of 2017, and February 16th through 18th, our entry module training, Module 1 and 2. For those people that are new to Quantum Neurology and want to get started, this is where you would go to get started, is the Module 1 and 2 event, where I teach you how to apply concepts of rehabilitation to the musculoskeletal system and the sensory system of the body. To my knowledge, we're the only technique that does restore the sensory layers individually: pain, temperature, vibration, light touch, deep touch, pressure, proprioception, and form recognition. It's an extremely powerful concept that you learn in one weekend. When you sign up, follow the links below to sign up. We also have our Quantum Neurology Home Care Series, where we have the first of the series is How I Healed My Back in 2 weeks, where I teach you how to move when in pain, how to stand and walk and stabilize your body without injuring yourself further, and much, much more. And what we're talking about, and if you like what we're talking about and want to learn more, or to have instruction on the topics discussed, you could join our private holographic lifestyle membership. It's going to be a $10 a month fee with private access, and this is where we'll show you the topics discussed on each of the podcasts in more detail. So with all that said, I'd like to leave you with a quote from my book. A rainbow is a holographic projection of light through water. Life is a holographic projection of light through your nervous system. This is an example of the hologram that we are and the holograph that we live in. Thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you again soon.